Chef Checks. It's me, Maja Chef Check, and welcome to another Maja's Repaints. Today we have a Lalaloopsy bathtub. There's a lot of details that I'd like to paint for Marina Mellow. I was meaning to repaint it, but some dried up water Dynakerk paint got in there, and I'll need to paint over that because it looks messy and worn out. However, despite its appearance, it's good for Marina Mellow. It's a good size for Marina Mellow, who's living in the minty ice cream doll house. Okay, so that's my work cut out for me. The interior I'm planning to paint blue because it will go with the minty ice cream theme of the dollhouse. So I'm using this acrylic paint for the interior of the bathtub because I think they're really going to suit a nice egg blue, like robin egg blue color, and it will look more sophisticated than the white because I think I like the robin's egg blue color, and I would like to see it on bathtubs. So that's why I'm painting Marina Mellow's bathtub this color. The paint is carrying to the other side to the pink sculpted details, but I don't think those sculpted details are suitable. They don't look like a bathtub. It looks like crochet, sculpted on crochet, which I'm going to try to either paint over it thick enough to get rid of it, or just glue some different details over that because there's some patches not good. But yet that's Lalaloopsy aesthetic, so there's that. But this is for Marina Mellow, so it better look appropriate for the dollhouse. Both the bathtub and sink got another layer of paint. Now you're saying, that's the bathtub episode. Why are you including the sink? Well, it's because I'm painting it for the part 2 of Marina Mellow's bathroom because after this episode, the next one will be the sink. I will not spoil the finished product of it until that episode comes. But there is just one. It will match the bathtub robin egg blue color that the ceramic has. Both the sink and the bathtub will get it, but first we have to let it dry. And I've added silver glitter while the paint has not dried. It's to create that sandy texture of the ceramic that I want to create. So that's why I sprinkled the loose silver glitter over it. Just for that effect. And yes, I am mixing it with the paint so it creates that effect, that ceramic effect that I want to create. So I'm making sure it's spread as widely as possible on the ceramic area of the bathtub. And after Storm Amy, I've decided to come back to the bathtub. I've cut out a piece of fabric because I want to cover up this detailing. I do like the idea of hanging tower and soup, but I want to up the quality, so I'm going to put a piece of fabric, stitch it, and glue it to the bathtub to up the quality of that and get rid of that texture that I don't want. But at least it gives me an idea of what to work with. Although I said it's after Storm Amy, it's still a little bit there, but it's calming down. If you can hear it a little. I hope you can't hear it, but just in case, you know. And this piece of wire will be for the area where I will put a towel and a bar of soap onto it. So I'm going to use these silver beads for this part of it. I'm just going to apply the beads until we're done. And it's long enough. Wire and beads done. Now it's the time to glue the fabric to the bathtub, and it will look way better. I do like the Lalaloopsy aesthetic, but this will not be for Lalaloopsy anymore, so that's why I'm repainting Lalaloopsy things for my dolls. So I'm just going to glue that. Hopefully nobody's childhood is going to be ruined by this. But hey, I just repaint for fun. Because sometimes it's good to create your own out of scratch, and sometimes it's good to repaint already existing things like lalaloopsy, many furnitures pieces. So that's what I sometimes do and sometimes do. It's good to have both in our life, you know. So, going to glue the furniture. Come on, glue. You can do it. You can do it. We need to glue the bathtub to make it look better. We need to smoothen that texture and everything. And this cannot be done without the glue, so that's why I need it. Come on, stick to the bathtub. Because the bathtub needs glue in order to look better. And hey, those fabric folds could be used for flower detailing, for like flower detailing. But I'm going to trim them a little, just so it looks like an actual flower. Cause you know, if you do it, even by an accident, then make use of it. Although I accidentally added those folds, it's fine because they can be covered up and turned into flower details. And this area that I could not cover will be covered up with a leaf. So I'm going to trim that leaf. And once this leaf is trimmed, remove this from it and glue it in the area where I failed to cover with fabric. And the piece of plastic will also go on to it. So now it's here. But that has to dry. Maybe something like a sunflower in that area where the folds are. Because why not turn that into a sunflower, because those are late summer to early autumn flowers. So I have even more sunflowers that I could use to cover that up, to cover the area up. Maybe let's do it to the back of it. There we go. And we need more fabric folds for this. So let's just glue them on to add them in to it. What type of There we go. At least it's no longer giving Klein. Although the original Lalaloopsy dolls look like Klein's a lot, but this is a repaint. So that's what. And now let's let this dry. Details glued on. Time to let it dry. For the towel, I've cut a bit of pink velvet fabric, a rectangle of pink fabric, and I glued it together where the wire for it was. Now that has to dry because I wanted the towel to be a permanent on it, so I'm just going to have to use another towel. But anyways, it's a decoration to the bathtub because I wanted to have those features, but you know, without it just being sculpted on like this, I wanted to make it look a little bit more realistic, so that's what I've done. The bathtub dried. This is a white bathtub now. I'm just cutting the loose threads from the flower. And speaking of the flower, this is a white flower, but it's not supposed to be a white flower because it's supposed to be flower, like late summer flower theme. Like it's October already and there's still a little bit of flowers blooming, but the blooming season will end very soon. But yet the sunflowers, I've been feeling in the mood for doing the sunflowers, but this flower, the white one, will not be a sunflower. It will be something pink instead. But yet I do think this theme would be a very good choice for the minty ice cream house, so why not? I'll be using this pink for the flower. So I'm going to mix up some pink. And I may also want to create some ceramic-y effect. So although I've done it, I'm going to get some silver glitter mixed into the pink acrylic paint for more effects, because that's what I want to do. Pink acrylic paint mixed with silver glitter, because that's what I've decided to do, because I wanted to also feel like ceramic-y, just like the robin's egg blue that I did for the interior of the bathtub. So I'll be mixing that up. See, that looks like earthy ceramic-y, so that's why I mixed in glitter, loose silver glitter into the acrylic paint because it creates that earthy, sandy texture that I want to add, because I want to be somewhat more creative with that sandy texture, because being creative with different textures, it's good. So that's why I'm doing it. And I may consider doing yellow, mustard yellow, and silver glitter to also make the sunflower ceramic sandy earthy texture too. I just glue them on to add something that is the base of the yellow. So going to paint that area here pink too. The pink acrylic paint plus glitter mixture. Although I usually don't like doing that, but for this case I actually started to think that it's growing on me, and I'm starting to like what acrylic paint plus glitter mixed into the mixture does, because in that context it's actually good that I'm doing this, because look at the sandy earthy ceramic texture it gives it. But okay, let's now mix up a yellow for the sunflowers, a yellow with silver glitter, mustard yellow with a hint of lemon yellow to lighten it, because I don't want that dark yellow. I don't want it to be darker than the original, so that's why I'm adding a bit of creamy lemon and peach to warm it up. There. We're going to mix those paints together to hopefully create the yellow. That yellow is really bright, that I really like, and this is more of a muted down earth tone of yellow. It looks more ceramic-y, but what makes it even more ceramic-y? Mix in the loose silver glitter and mix it in to it, and paint the sunflowers. I'm trying not to do too thick of layers, because that would take away the lively essence of those sunflowers. I don't want to take away the airy essence of this, so that's why I'm doing very light layer of this and just one layer of this in total for the yellow sunflowers. So now, very carefully going to paint that on. This here And I'm accidentally painting the insides of sunflowers. But anyways, I can just darken the yellow for the insides of the sunflowers. Just add black to the mix and do that. Fix this here. Okay, that's enough painting. That. Now let's add a little bit of black to make the dark brown for the sunflower seeds. Just mix black into the yellow to create the brownish tint and mix it in and paint it on. Very, very carefully. And done. Time to let it dry. The bathtub dried. However, I feel like there's something missing, and plus there's some areas that got paint, but I did not intend it to have paint. So with the pink paint, I'm just going to add polka dots on the white part of the bathtub because I think it will tie the look together and hide some paint splatters that are not supposed to be there. See that? It could be covered up with pink acrylic paint, polka dots. So I'm just adding them to call it a day with the paint job. There we go. Just making sure the polka dots look good. Much better in most areas. And there we go. Some areas that I don't like as much, I'm going to use those beads to add a little bit of decoration that looks like ice cream, at least a little, but not too many, because I want it to look balanced, but yet I don't like leaving empty spaces really, but I do want to make it look practical enough to be useful in the dollhouse. So there's that side to it. So now let's keep on adding more to it. There, and I glued on beads to hide that trace of unevenly cut fabric for this. And it's okay to make it uneven because you can find ways to be creative with that. So be creative with fabric folds in ways that I made it into a flower. So it worked this way. And now it has to dry. Everything dried, and this is the finished bathtub. So Chef Chex, what do you think of this bathtub? Please tell me in the comments. And bye, Chef Check. See you in another video, which will be the sink. Bye.